Alright, so for the question regarding how the Mottez stole from the website hell.com, it republished it on o1.org, and I'm guessing they did this not because they wanted their work, but to prove a point. Ava and Franco were always against copyrighted things, and since hell.com would only release their exhibits for up to 48 hours, also needing a password to enter, their act of stealing displayed how it should be available to anyone, every day, and without the use of any type of security. The Mottez were the type of people who did not care about any laws or restrictions. Nothing would stop them from going against what they believe is wrong, and their perception of the internet is unique because they portrayed that nothing is ever original because anyone could hack or steal anything from someone else. For example, movies. Everyone says, oh, this is copyrighted, but how come there's so many copies of bootlegs and pirated movies all over the internet? So that's a perfect example that if something's on the internet, anyone can have it. The difference between hacktivism and what the Mottez were doing is that hacktivism is usually something that someone does against that website. And what the Mottez were doing is different because their goal for stealing was just to prove their point that anything on the internet can be taken from anyone and turned into something of their own, which is why hacktivism and the Mottez did not get together. And the whole Nike swoosh thing seemed to me like a little prank that the Mottez had done just for their entertainment. And what they had done was place this huge Nike swoosh thing in a beautiful area in Vienna. And I think it's funny how no one questioned or even tried figuring out who or why it was there. It proves that anyone could get away with it because it's like something that no one would ever fake, and making something so artistic yet realistic is quite achievable, and I think it's just amazing. And it was brilliant of them because it serves its purpose as a lesson to teach society that not everything in life is so real. Sometimes objects can be perceived as one thing, but in actuality have a complete whole different meaning. And another question is, how is a Second Life avatar like a portrait? It serves as a portrait because people have made these avatars to represent how they want to be perceived. And despite their avatars being who they want to be, it doesn't mean that it is who they actually are in reality. People can be seen in a portrait, but it doesn't mean that's how they actually look. Portraits can be changed, created, and personally designed the way a person would want it to be. But in people, reality, you can't change or create or design them the way you want. That is the difference. What types of concerns are the artists raising in synthetic performances? This is when they reenact other artists' portraits, which is like when Ava and Franco had chose offensive arts that were, for example, one masturbating. If one were to see that in Second Life, they wouldn't really think that's normal, but in reality, these type of offensive acts actually exist in reality, so technically it shouldn't be so strange to one's eyes. I think the general themes of Ava and Franco Mottez is that originality does not exist because anyone could take anything from someone, reproduce it in their own way, take the original copy, and then make it something of their own. And what's the meaning of flogging a dead horse? Well, I'm just going to take a wild guess, and I think the meaning of flogging a dead horse is their way of making something fake look real. like deceive those who are looking at it. For example, like how the manager of the band Flogging a Dead Horse broke up and didn't exist anymore, yet the manager was still able to make it appear like they were still a band. Image can deceive anyone by making them believe that something that's not really true is true. This reading was very interesting, but I think it's still kind of weird to me. So yeah, there's my video.